I'm Shell and I'm a cosplayer. If you are new to my channel, welcome, or if you're a subscriber, welcome back. I have wanted to make this video for a very long time, but every time I sat down and thought about what I wanted to say, I struggled. Whether you are new or old to the cosplay community, you have heard about harassment. And I do not want this video to make people be afraid. What I do want is to empower you to speak up, to feel safe. As a cosplayer, that cosplay should be fun and it should be safe for people of all ages, all identities, and all backgrounds. To describe what CSSN does, I am going to hand you guys over to Trixie.
Thanks so much for having me, Shell. My name is Trixie, she, her. I'm a certified victim advocate and a survivor of SA and cyberstalking. But most importantly, I'm the founder and executive director of CSSN, the Cosplayer Survivor Support Network. CSSN has been around since 2016 and was inspired by a knowledge gap I noticed, wherein cosplayers' specific needs were not being met when they faced harassment or worse. Things like how it feels to be catcalled wearing a character you love, but now the costume makes you feel icky, or covert harassment through cosplay cliques that gets dismissed as just drama. Since then, we've expanded our resources to include all convention attendees, online and off. Something we developed that we're most known for is our harassment policy report card, which began in 2017. It's a running list of conventions that rates their harassment policy's effectiveness in a worst-case scenario, using public information and based on 6 trauma-informed factors. 1. The policy must exist on the website. 2. Must be easy to find. 3. Must give definitions for harassment. 4. Must give clear consequences for harassing someone. 5. Must cover what happens if a staff member is the offender. Lastly, 6. The convention must have a way to report harassment and/or contact someone who is qualified to help, such as a crisis response team, remotely, in case the survivor or target can't or doesn't want to travel.
Harassment is defined. Harassment can be following someone or blocking someone's path. Harassment can be taking someone's photo or video without permission. It can be touching someone without permission, or repeated texts, phone calls, emails, messages, any unwanted, repeated behavior.
Harassment is defined by the target of the behavior. Because of my research, I'm wary of conventions that don't state that outright, or that prioritize individual staff members' decisions on reported incidents. Acknowledging a formal definition with some examples allows for accountability at all levels of participation in the convention. Humor me. Let's say, for example, Naruto harasses you. Staff member Kakashi might not think Naruto harassed you and tells you to drop it when you try to report it. But it happens again, and then you find staff member Sasuke, and he says that Naruto should have already had his badge revoked. Both are staff member decisions. If there isn't an established definition of harassment that respects the reporting survivor, Kakashi could win out every time just by having been a staff member for longer. Or maybe he's friends with the con chair. Maybe he's even friends with Naruto. In a worst-case scenario, Kakashi could even decide you're harassing him and revoke your badge while on a power trip. Believing survivors is step number 1 of trauma-informed intervention, and I've seen people leave the community altogether because someone else decided their being harassed wasn't bad enough or wasn't like their experience being harassed. You get to decide whether you felt harassed.
But of course, cosplay is not just conventions and not just in person. We are in a completely digital age where entire conventions are online and people can interact with other cosplayers daily. I feel very privileged to have been raised in the era I was, in the early 2000s, when I had all of these talks in school about internet safety and crime prevention, and I really learned how to keep myself safe. Work under the assumption that if people really want to find your personal information, like your full name and your address, they will. But that doesn't mean you have to make it easy for them. You are in control about how much of yourself you put online. You don't need to use your full name, you don't need to use your age, and you definitely don't need to use your location. One specific thing that I see a lot on Instagram is when people have their accounts set to private, but they have their full name, age, and school in their bio where anyone can see it. And that's a lot of information to give away. So stay mindful of the fact that you are controlling your experience. And that's also true when other people are involved. If you don't like something someone posts or someone is just annoying you, you have every right to unfollow or mute or block them. When you have an issue with someone, consider if it's a private or a public matter. If you just don't like their OTP, unfollow them and move on. But if they're sending you threatening messages, you need to tell someone you trust.
I can't stress this enough. Don't delete the offending content no matter how painful it feels right now. If you absolutely can't handle it, ask your trusted party to help you. If at all possible, keep your screenshots saved on the device where you took them, as well as in a backed up folder. If the harassment occurs over a period of time, I highly recommend making a timeline document that includes the screenshot, date and time, involved parties and witnesses, by name and username if you know it, location of the harassment, and any other details that establish a pattern of behavior. It'll be helpful in a worst-case scenario, which I genuinely hope you never encounter.
I want you to know that there are so many resources and so many people here to support you, not just CSSN and not just me. Trixie has very kindly provided a list of resources you can use for any situation and any time, and those will all be in the description box below.
You can read more about our mission and goals on our website, cosplayer-ssn.org. In 2022, we hope to keep adding more cons to the report card, as well as indicating whether the con has accessibility services listed online, and whether police intervention is mandatory in every reported incident regardless of the survivor or target's wishes. We hope you know that you're not alone, and we believe you. Thanks.
Whether you've never stepped foot inside a convention or you've been going for decades, I hope this video was helpful for you or informative in some way. And please remember, I believe you. We believe you. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.